Okay.
Okay. 6 o'clock, I look to call the meeting to order of the Pension Board of Trustees and have a roll call.
Jim Hendrickson.
Bob Raleigh. Frank Nash,
Dave Kramer.
thank you.
Richard.
Rich Baskin as an observer, since I have not signed my form yet. So I will only speak when spoken to.
Robert, we didn't watch it, but that's for sure.
Do you have a mute button for some individuals? We'll go over the minutes of the meeting from June 11th. They are quite lengthy.
Yeah.
They're reasonably correct.
Yes,
I would make a move to approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
any discussion, all in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Nope, thank you. Is there any public participation? No, we're gonna move on to approval of the pension applications.
Hi, I'm here.
Perfect.
So we have a number of applications, which typically happens when we've had the summer break. So I'll go through all of them. If you need me to stop and talk about anyone in particular, then I'd be happy to do that. So we have Alexander Turgis, who was with the city. He was the superintendent of operations for 10 years. He has a vested pension. He's requesting a commencement date of May 1st of 2025 and has selected option 2. We have Mark Matthews from the Board of Education. He's a custodian. He was with them for 13 years. The commencement date would be June 3rd of 2025. His type of pension is normal, and he has selected the standard option. We have Michelle Augusto from the Board of Ed. She was a paraeducator for 16 years with a commencement date of June 13th of 2025. She was requesting an early pension and a standard option. And Teresa Lakin from the Board of Ed. She was a paraeducator for 35 years. She's requesting a commencement date of July 1 of 2025 with a normal pension and the standard selection. Yvonne Rodriguez, who was with the Board of Ed as a secretary for 31 years. Commencement date of June 14th of 2025. She requested a normal pension and has selected option 2. Nilsa Martinez, who was with the city as the senior legal secretary for 19 years. Her commencement date would be August 2nd of 2025. She's requested an early pension with selected option 2. Barbara Facenda with the Board of Ed. She was a nurse for 36 years. She has an August 15th, 2025 commencement date, normal pension, selected option 3. And if I can get there, hold on, sorry. And last but not least, I have Paula Rossi with the Board of Ed, who is a cafeteria worker for 5 years and 6 months. Commencement date of September 23rd of 2025. It's a vested pension and they have selected the standard option. So those are our applications for today.
Tina, can you go back on, I'm looking for it, Meadows, is it Mark Meadows?
Yes, for Meadows, yes.
Yeah. so-
Matthews, I'm sorry. Did I say Meadows? It's Matthews. Did I?
Matthews, I'm sorry, yeah, Matthews, yeah. He listed as his beneficiary GF, which I presume stands for girlfriend. Do we have any confirmation that he was never married or isn't married?
Yes, we have confirmation that he was never married. And so that's why he was allowed to do that, list his girlfriend. Liliana followed up with him about that.
All right, thank you.
There's a concern that, the person who is food service the tradition has been, and I believe it was considered that he was a member that was a special board. There was three of us, me, myself, Charlie, and the president of the union. So I would think that we should maybe table that. I had a discussion with Charlie about it too, and he agreed. That would be tabled until notification to the union president was made. I didn't see it in any of the CCs. Perhaps you did. If you did, and that's fine. We could go ahead and he just didn't show.
Or we could approve it subject to his approval.
I am not sure. I did not, you're right, a cafeteria worker, you're talking about Paula Rossi, the last one, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot confirm whether or not there's been any confirmation or any, conversation, I'm sorry, with the union president. So we could do it one or two ways. Because the commencement date would be September 23rd, we can either table it or we can approve it pending notification and approval by the union president, whatever the board wishes and thinks is the best way to go forward.
That'd be different. Yeah, the table, that's fine.
But yeah, why don't we table that one
Table it.
and just notify, and if he, as long as he's notified, and then if he doesn't show, that's fine,
Okay,
okay?
I'll make sure.
One other thing is. The last day of employment, wasn't what the last day of employment for one of them, like 2019?
The first one.
19.
The very first one, it was,
It was that? Was there a particular reason for them to get it, to wait from 2019 to 2025?
I believe it was I believe that, are you talking about Alexander Turgis, correct?
Right,
I believe that he, while he was vested in his pension benefits, did not meet the age requirements. And so he had to wait until he met the age requirement in order to submit his application.
yeah, didn't he, but wasn't, that was, he went, okay, all right. Is there a motion to accept the applications excluding food service?
I'll make a
Is there a
motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Oh,
aye,
no, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next gonna be reports.
Yes, we were intending to go through the small cap growth search book. We have Nicole Uvina on the line from our manager research group. If you recall at the last meeting, we gave an update on Principal. Internally, they have an asset allocation team that ultimately elected to move significant assets internally away from the team that manages the SMID cap portfolio for Norwalk. At the last meeting, the board agreed to see other candidates due to how small the asset size for this team has gotten and some of the team changes over the years with Principal. Our intention was to walk through the 5 candidates, highlight some key areas, and hopefully identify 2 or 3 to potentially interview as a replacement. Before I turn things over to Nicole, just wanted to see if anyone had any questions, comments.
Just for discussing competitors, would this be public, right?
No,
Yeah, no, that should go to executive
Yeah.
session, thank you.
I'd like to see if Rich could stay on.
was that
I'd like to see if Rich could stay on for that, but I don't know if we can do that technically.
Rich?
Well,
Yeah,
well,
Can you, is it
Was that,
possible?
was there a problem with that?
yeah, there might be a problem because anybody
Yeah.
could, call in and listen to the conversation.
phone directly in,
And technically. Keep it part of the
What if you
executive
call
session.
in on one of your phones?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we'd want Nicole and Kevin.
Nicole will need to call in also.
so I'll do whatever you want me to do. You want me to leave?
I'll call you on my phone, Rich, how's that?
Okay,
We didn't get a hand up for that.
Not if you're to do a,
Yeah, we're gonna do,
consolidated
Okay.
performance
yeah,
report.
I can hear you on the meeting, but,
Yeah, I just,
Okay.
okay, I just wanted to make sure, I'm gonna hang up.
Okay.
And then I'll be on the meeting.
All right.
but you don't have any defined contribution tonight, or do you?
No,
Okay, then we're not gonna do it. That's great,
Oh, yeah.
but we will go over the
OPEB and,
performance.
Yes, happy to go over performance.
And they had OPEB too.
So,
We can do OPEB though, that'd be quick.
They had OPEB on the agenda. all the
Yeah.
time.
Clearly I was on vacation and didn't look. close. In August, we saw equities perform pretty strongly. US was up 2%, small caps were up 7%. So significantly outperforming large caps. Despite, the volatility, the concerns over tariffs, weak payroll reports. Those momentum markets we discussed earlier and technology stocks really led the way. In non-US equities, up 3.5% for the month. Unlike the US, we've really seen value oriented stocks, things like financials, cyclicals, and weaker US dollar drive returns. Fixed income was up 1.2% in August. We've seen yields come down. Fed cut rates in September, and the expectation is that there'll be 2 additional rate cuts at the October and December meetings going forward. We'll start on page 3 of the flash report. Total assets, 582.7 million. A couple highlights here. We saw a pretty large distribution from Pantheon Private Equity 2014, about 850,000. So that allocation continues to come down. I would highlight that fixed income remained underweight, 16% versus a 19% target. But when combined with cash, really right in line with target for fixed income. One other point I would make is within US equity, the portfolio does have a pretty significant overweight to small caps. So the market, at one point was really 85% large cap, 15% small cap. Given the performance of the Mag 7, we've reached a point where it's 92.8 at this point. And the current portfolio is probably more like 80-20 or 75-25 large to small. So the reason I highlight that is because it did contribute to performance so far in the fiscal year. It has really been a drag on performance for longer periods, but it did help. And if we turn to performance, you can see US long equity outperformed the Russell 3000 despite LSV underperforming. Principal did outperform and outperformed in the second quarter as well. But that overweight to small cap really drove that US equity outperformance as a whole. Developed markets within international equity were a struggle. Walter Scott, has really struggled. They are a buy and hold high conviction manager who was really a quality at a reasonable price approach. So what that means is, or growth at a reasonable price. They value quality and there's a valuation component, and they tend to be underweight financials, overweight healthcare, which have really been out of favor, and their process, as you can tell, over the last 12 months has been out of favor. We'll continue to keep an eye on Walter Scott. This is really not strategy specific. This is Walter Scott has the same process really across their strategies, and all of them are struggling.
We do have a watch list, which we almost never use, but when you're down 6% and the index is up almost 14%, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah, I would compare them more to the growth index, but agreed, it is.
But even,
Yes, it's
even the growth, that's still 11%.
yeah.
That's brutal.
and we can certainly add them to the watch list and bring them in.
Should we bring them in and say, what's the deal?
Yeah, we had them in earlier this year, because they had underperformed at that point. And it is,
Decide that we should review whether we
He's only been with them, what, 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
No, the reason it underperformed earlier was that they had the wrong bets,
I mean,
right?
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, this
You know, I mean,
sectors and the stocks they typically like in their process have not.
The guy's only been on the team 2 years, but he drops the ball every time he's in the end zone, you know?
Yeah, I think we have them in early 26 regardless.
Yeah,
Good.
all right. I don't have anything that says we're having an OPEB meeting tonight.
I was misreading that. No, we don't. You're right.
Yeah.
The OPED is the report we got also, right? The quote
Mhm.
report.
Yeah,
Right.
we got a report on it. That's the only reason I said it. That's just not for discussion, just a report.
All right,
And then just going through the rest, BlackRock Emerging Markets has done decent so far fiscal year to date. ABS, your global equity long short manager, has done a pretty nice job over short and longer periods versus their HFRI benchmark. And then finally on page 3, Prudential Fixed Income continues to do well. TCW was down for the first 2 months of the quarter. They ended up outperforming in September and are up year to date. Their overweight to duration has really come down significantly since we met with them earlier this year. They're about 0.2 longer than the benchmark, but much more in line than where they were. UBS has struggled so far. We were notified that they were a part, this fund had exposure to a recent bankruptcy, which contributed to a loss in September. We have a call with them next week to get an
So
update.
that doesn't show up in this.
It does not show up in this. It will show up likely next month.
next
But they were lagging for the fiscal year too, right?
Well, the fiscal year is just 2 months in this
Yeah.
quarter,
Yeah.
so it's a very short period.
Yeah.
12 months are actually up, right?
Yeah, longer term, they've done a nice job, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done okay.
This particular bankruptcy seems to have gotten a lot of credit hedge funds by surprise. So the unwinding of
So
that,
who was it?
I don't recall off the top of my head, but I can send it to you.
Okay,
And we'll send our notes once we have a call with them to the board.
Okay.
PIMCO continues to do well. And you can see overall up about 3% through 2 months of the year and longer term in line with the benchmark. And certainly above the discount rate. Any questions on performance?
Right, was the question about who the bankruptcy was around?
Yes, I couldn't recall.
Yeah, it's Frank, the name of the company is First Brands. So they are an aftermarket car parts supplier.
There was an article in the Wall Street Journal today about it.
Sound good?
I think so. I mean, I know that there was something at the very end here, but, we could
No, it's interesting.
review, we didn't have anything on,
We can do OPEB if
you wanna do OPEB?
sure, is it same meeting?
I mean, it's so fast, it's like,
excellent. Yeah.
basically, it's like nothing to.
Happy to.
It sounds like it's
That
funny.
way there, at least we're done,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, then we dealt with OPEB.
Yep,
And then and then what we'll do is next meeting, we will go over, defined contribution,
perfect.
okay?
I will, in this book or the OPEB, pension and OPEB executive summary, which should be in
It's, yeah, the second. tab,
documents,
Or tab 1,
just looking at page 25.
Yeah, what's it?
yeah,
So OPEB, showing the asset allocation versus target, consistent with past quarters, overweight to domestic equity, given the strong performance there, underweight to fixed income, slight underweight to liquid real assets, slight overweight to cash as benefit payments continue to go out. On 26, we show the asset distribution, 151.7 million. You can see 2 million being distributed during the quarter and about 12 million in unrealized investment returns. And then on page 28, showing performance, strong absolute performance through June 30th, up about 8.5%. The index funds have tracked their benchmarks reasonably well. Your fixed income funds outperformed, in particular TCW and PIMCO.
Britt, what's in the Vanguard total stock market? Is that the
US
S and P plus Russell? What is it? How do they weight it, you know?
It's essentially,
Yeah, pretty-
they use the CRISP US Total Market Index, so it's essentially weighting the Russell 3000. It's the same, similar.
Okay.
So it's owning everything weighted to their market cap.
Right.
So again,
It's just a brand name for the Russell 3000.
it's Vanguard tends to use CRISP index.
Yeah, okay.
Which is why we showed the Russell 3000 as a secondary benchmark.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a much difference over long periods. It's just they have an agreement to use CRISP as most of their.
It's amazing, this simple portfolio just seems to perform so well. Even
Your brother was one, he and I, we, in fact, at one point, they suggested maybe we had enough money to invest it, and we were going like, yeah, no, we just did, OPEB's outperforming.
Yeah, and it has more equity exposure than
Yeah,
the pension
yeah,
and
a
actually.
little bit more, not vastly more, a little bit more, it's like 2 percentage points more.
Well, that was, the-
70
when OPEB. started,
71.
We were told
71
we were
versus-
taking money off the
Yeah,
check.
big difference. That's a big difference in the
And-
last few years.
And we've had unbelievable equity return.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When equity markets sell off, the OPEB will not keep up with the pension.
That's right. Yeah.
But that's why the next question, money, do you need money from anybody?
No, I think we're good for now on the pension side and the OPEB side.
Okay, and you got money from the city,
Correct.
and was that, where did that go?
It's in the
It's in cash,
cash.
in the pension.
Okay,
I think it was about,
I just didn't know whether it went to somewhere else.
no, the board decided not to invest it.
Right, we decided not to invest it, we tabled the idea of the investing. So should we now think about investing it?
You're not gonna like,
Rich,
you're not gonna like where I suggest putting it.
Bonds, I want bonds.
one of those bonds that have returned like 1.8% over.
But I don't have a vote.
the last 7 years,
It's not why they're there.
you know,
Right. Right.
There's probably maybe 14 or 15 million left,
Right, and
and it's 3 million per month,
Per month.
3.2 per month.
we have it in cash right now, I mean,
yes,
short-term interest, it
Correct.
pays dividends. Is that okay?
4%.
is it 4% still, is that what we're getting?
Yeah, 18 million in cash right now.
Rich, what do you think? Do you wanna put it anywhere, 10 million somewhere? Or keep it in cash?
Which has earned 4.8% the last year.
Rates are down.
Such a short
cut
period,
rates and-
such a short period.
We'll just
I'm
leave it
sure,
there.
I'm sure not a
Okay,
fan of
you
putting
need-
more. I'm
Do
sure
it.
not a fan of putting more in equities and everything else is earning, non-equity is 4% non-equity is competitive with everything else.
I was
Yeah.
hoping you'd say we'll put it in gold, but that's okay.
Not, no.
All right, so we're gonna just leave it in cash,
okay.
all right?
Yep.
Anything else?
I have one thing.
Go ahead.
So Tina may or may not be here next month, because we've hired a new director. And so what's certain is that the new director will be here next month for next month's meeting. Tina may or may not be with the new director.
New personnel director.
Yes,
Okay,
okay, so just giving you a heads up, this may possibly be Tina's last meeting, so if you want
Oh,
to
God.
Wow.
wish her well.
yeah, Tina, you've been very helpful to us,
Absolutely.
and we wish you well in your, wherever you're going and doing.
Thank you very much. It's very sweet of you. I appreciate it.
So next meeting starts at 4:00,
Well, we have to find out about,
to be confirmed.
I'd say plan on 4 and
Yeah.
we will
Right.
try to get back to you all by early next week.
Okay.
we need more than sandwiches then, we need to.
Lunch and-
2 bags of chips.
Yeah, we want,
Drinks?
yeah, drinks, and I can bring, so then there's one other thing, is there a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Hey,
Thank
tell
you,
everyone
everyone.
Before 8 o'clock.
Yeah, absolutely.